welcome, Stephen, to Metallarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about our Noctem, this new album, Credos Certe Necras, and other things related to metal world. We're starting with a common question: how have you been during these times, with a crazy time, especially 2 years pandemic, a war in Europe? A lot of things happen now.
Yeah, it's been strange. I mean, I guess the only good thing that's happened is because we've not been able to tour. We've been able to spend a lot of time just writing music. And with so many bad things going on in the world, I guess there's been quite a lot of inspiration for the style of music that we write. But yeah, that's been pretty much it. I mean, we spent the entire pandemic. I mean, we had a lot of festivals booked. We've been booked for Metal Days twice. One's got cancelled because of COVID. One's got cancelled because one of the members got COVID. So yeah, it's just been a lot of cancelled concerts, but it's given us a lot of time to write and kind of plan for music, not just for this album but for future albums as well.
Okay. I've been seeing that you entered to the band in 2019, because the band was formed 2021. So how do you see the band outside when you are just a fan of the band and just seeing the first albums, and now you are releasing 3 albums with them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've had a connection with the band since 2014. Because away from the band, I organized Incineration Fest in London. So I actually booked Noctem back in 2014 for Incineration Fest, and I kept in contact with the guys ever since then. So Noctem, before I joined the band, it was always a band that I had a lot of respect for. I've always liked the idea of like brutal black and death. So yeah, I mean, eventually, obviously now I'm on the other side of it. Now I'm actually writing music for the guys. But I mean, yeah, it's anything that I thought of the guys before I joined the band, I say like the respect and everything I had for them, it's only grown since I've joined the band. I mean, they're all good guys, top musicians, and they're dedicated to what they do.
Okay. So you entered the band in Hairesis, in 2016. Then you are releasing now 3 albums. But externally, you see three albums. How do you see the evolution when you was a fan and now you are in the band composing the new albums?
Yeah, well, this is the first album that I've composed with the guys. I joined in 2019. So they already released Heresy, and they released Black Consecration, and I joined the band just after Black Consecration was released. I guess my writing style is a bit different to the previous guy. I guess that can be sometimes quite nerve-wracking because obviously my style, I mean, well, the Noctem fans before I joined the band, they got used to the Noctem style of the old compositions. And I guess my compositions are probably a little different, and I guess you're kind of nervous about what the fans will think about that with the stylistic changes and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I quite like the new direction that we seem to be going in at the moment. I mean, we're still brutal. We're still playing, 1,000 BPM, super fast. But I really like the melodies that we're doing, and I think that the people, well, so far the response of this new album, people seem to be getting behind that as well.
Okay. Well, you are from England, and as you know the band in your festival, you said Incineration Fest, but the band is from Spain. So how are you motivated to create a band in England and just to join a Spanish band?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, I love playing music. So I've always traveled around. I mean, before I played in Noctem, I was playing guitar for Scarab in Egypt. So I've always, I don't know. I mean, I've had opportunities in the UK to play in UK bands, but for me, if I like the music of a band, then I'll travel to wherever they are. And say I don't mind to go to Spain. I mean,
so for you, if we try to relate the new forms of hearing music now, as you can see, now are returning to the 40s and 50s, when the music was released by singles and spread by singles at that time. Now this new, bueno, this old movement are returning now to hear music and no albums anymore. So for you, if we try to relate this aspect, which songs for you from this Credo Serte Necras capture the whole essence? Speaking about the singles, just 1 2 singles to capture the whole essence from this new album.
Yeah, I mean, probably the song Pale Moon Right. We've not actually released it as a single yet. It's going to be released as a single later, but it's track 6 on the album. And this song, it has many different elements. It's got some really brutal fast sections. It's got some quite melodic sections with a lot of feeling behind them. And I think that one song, it's kind of got a bit of the whole album in that one song. So that would probably be the song that I'd choose. And even though we've not released that song as a standalone single just yet, we are getting quite a few people that are name dropping that song as a kind of their favorite one from the album.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So a curious thing happened when you composed this new album. The name of the album changed. It's not anymore in English because the first 5 are in English: Divinity, Oblivion, Exilium, Aeresis, the Black Consecration, and now the album is a curious. You start to compose the new album, and the band completely changed the lyrics and talking about Credo Certe Necras. So what is happening in general?
I mean, for that, I mean, my focus is generally always on the musical side of things. When it comes to philosophies and I say the lyrical aspects and the name, and I mean that's more of a Beleth thing. He's more imaginative when it comes to that. Yeah, for me, I stick to the music, and I don't trust myself to do any more than that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, but I think the essay. I mean, obviously the English version of the name of the album is that I believe with certainty there is no tomorrow.
Well, then there is no tomorrow. Okay. Other aspect that I didn't notice is that when I listened for the first time Noctem, I remember that I listened the band in Exilium. I never hear before, but when I listen Exilium, I remember that the band has a lot of death metal influence with black metal influence, a mixture in general. But when I hear this Credo Certa Necres, I feel that the band going to the black metal stuff. Not anymore. You don't have a leader yet. You don't have this presence of or a 90-100% of presence of death metal. You are most black metal band than the death metal band. So perhaps what kind of influence did you take to compose this new album? Perhaps more black metal stuff because you composed this new one. Perhaps your background is more in more the 90s black metal stuff in North Floridian or Swedish or British death metal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I say I do like death metal, but I mean the bands that I tend to listen to a lot more are, I mean, the more bands like Rotting Christ and Septic Flesh, and this style of band. So they're more black metal, but they've also got melodies about them as well. So it's not your typical, like destructive black metal. It's more melodic. So I'd say that, and then there's other bands as well. I mean, I'm a big fan of bands like Advent Sorrow and Allende and these guys. So I think, I guess there are those influences. But at the same time, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I was actually writing in the beginning for this album was a lot slower. It was actually the influence from, obviously, from Arnau, from Beleth and the guys to make everything a lot faster. So I kind of, obviously I bought the melodic kind of black metal style that I like. I brought it to the guys, and then they've sped it up a lot faster BPM, and I mean now we've got the result that we've got. It's extreme, it's melodic, but it's still extreme.
Okay. Well, you said that the Beleth created this philosophy, create the lyrics, so create the ambient of the band in general. So and relating with this is normally the black metal band around the world. Especially when I hear for the first time black metal in the mid-90s, I remember the old black metal stuff has their ideology. has this. We think with the Vikings, we think with the Satan, we think with the atmospheres, a lot of things. This happened with Mayhem, Immortal, Emperor, Slave, and a lot of bands. And for that, it's well known that when you play black metal, the black metal band has ideology, personal ideology, like Gaeta, like New Times. Cover their faces, they're not represent anymore. Some things. So for you, are you agree with the ideology for the black metal stuff that has Bellet creating the lyrics in the art, because he speak about anti-religion, about the ancient civilizations, mythology, and the curious thing, misanthropy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I say again, it's a difficult one for me because it is a question more for Bellet. This, but yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, a lot of kind of the lyrical aspects and that he looks at is, I say, it's more spiritual, and also I guess anti-religion, which. But yeah, I say it's more of a question for Bellet than me, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay, so are you, and relating with this last question, are you agree with the band talking about the misanthropic aspect? Because it's well known that a misanthropic is talking about the far away from the people, far away from the society, etc., etc. But
yeah.
but when you are in the band, when you're a band talking about the misanthropy, it's very a counterproductive thing, because you want to play alive. Many people want to see you, so this kind of that's why this is an antonym. A band like Misanthropic Art is very antonym thing to see how this work for a band, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Sorry, can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
So, what is your opinion about the misanthropic part into the lyrics from Noctem?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so it's, for me, it's a style that I like. I mean, the music itself as well. I mean, I say we don't particularly make music for for a particular an audience or a particular person. I mean, we just make the music that we like, and if other people can get on board and they can enjoy that also, then that's perfect as well. So I mean, I guess, I mean, whether we made this music and no one listened to it, and we were just kind of in our own kind of space with this music, then we would still be happy doing what we're doing. So it's we're making music that we want to make, lyrically and musically.
Okay. So talking about this new album, I've heard it a lot of times, because I did the review for Metalerium website, so I hear a lot of time, many times. And one thing that captured my attention is about the production area, because when I hear especially the songs in Credo Certe Necras and the songs Homophilia of Banishment, I really did not add excessive production into the battery. Something's irreal, because it's not happen just human. Perhaps you have this on purpose, or perhaps you have the intentions to record like this.
I don't. I mean, I think you probably recognize the production on this album is a lot different to Black Consecration and previous albums. But I think with the production of this album, obviously, I mean, as I mentioned, we have influences like Rotten Christ and Septic Flesh. I mean, we wanted to do something that the production was better. At the same time, we didn't want to be like one of these bands that just that's using triggers for the drums, and all of the drums sound exactly the same. We wanted to have kind of a bit of realism about the whole record. So yeah, I think the production that we've got, I say we've managed to keep the realism, but we've also managed to have a professional sound, and a lot different than the Black Consecration, which was a lot more raw and I guess traditional black metal.
Okay. So we're talking about other aspects, when, as I said in the first question, talk about other aspects in the music in general. So as you know, talking about, especially with it relating to the technology, so especially talking about the technology now, as you can see, now there's a software release on in the web area or online. When you put create some words, and this art or this software create arts. So I think the software called is DALL-E. Another software more existing is like artificial intelligence creating arts, creating these aspects for the arts in general. And related to this, as you can know, you see the band use triggers. That is a piece of machines of this a piece of piece of the machine. It's technology in general. So, but
Yeah.
with this, the technology and the artificial intelligence is more involved into the music industry, into the art industry in general. So, for you, what is your opinion about the artificial intelligence has more presence into the arts in general, paints, music, because music, drum machines, bass machine, guitar machines. There's a lot of machines with artificial intelligence exists now, and for the future, because this will happen. It's normally so. Perhaps in the future, are you giving a chance if some machines or some software creating black metal stuff for the future, just creating bass machines?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think without machines, I mean, I couldn't be with Noctem because obviously, I mean, they send me all of the music and I play it in my house. So I do all of my rehearsals and everything just with a computer. So I'm quite thankful for technology. And also I mean, the whole album, I say, was just written on a computer, and then so I mean, that's how we've done everything. I mean, bands, I don't know. I mean, whether bands are say in the future just going to be using say like computers or whatever. I mean we do use samplers live for like the orchestrations and stuff. But I mean I think that's quite normal now for bands to be using samplers for orchestrations, and I don't see anything. I don't really see anything wrong with it. And I guess for me, I just always like, I mean, as long as the guitars are real and I say the drums are as real as possible. I know people like to use triggers, but I say if all the drums, guitars, vocals, and everything is as real as possible, then I'm happy.
Okay, okay. For this, talking about the last questions about this new album, what are the future plans that the band has for this new album? Perhaps a European tour, and you comment me that you will have more tours incoming. So perhaps
Yeah,
more tours, perhaps you will present at more festivals in the next summer in Europe,
yeah,
or perhaps you have tour in North America, or who knows? Who knows? Perhaps
yeah.
someday you will come here to Latin America.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, well, Latin America is that's on the top of our list at the moment. So is North America. We're looking for a tour at the moment. We do have a full European tour that's about to be confirmed for February, March next year. So we're looking forward to that. Obviously, we're booked for Metal Days next summer, and we've got a few other festivals as well that we've not been announced for yet, but we're confirmed for. So I mean, I mean, the general aim for next year is we just want to be on the road as much as possible. And when we got this full new album, we want to, especially after 2 years of not touring so much because of COVID, we just want to be on the road, playing as many shows as possible. I mean, our live show with all of the blood and everything, I say it seems to be gaining the attention of the audience, and I say people are loving the live show, and I mean, we love playing live, so we want to be on the road as much as possible, and yeah, giving a good account for ourselves.
Okay, okay. Well, Steve, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one, like me doing this one.
Yeah.
Congratulations for the new album. It's a great one, as you said, from Noctem. So perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin American fans and Metallerium followers?
Yeah, just I mean, yeah, tell your local promoters to book Noctem, and we will come to Latin America as soon as possible.